Should she take a bite? Okay. Hello. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Oh, no, it's not. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
So tonight is a very, very special Shabbat. It is a Shabbat where we are celebrating two beautiful simchas, the bat mitzvah of Kayla Sapoff and the bar mitzvah of Max Levinson. And we are also joined here on the bima by two of our own temple musical groups, our Harmonizers Junior Choir, as well as our Shul of Rock teen band. So we hope that you will enjoy all of the ruach, the spirit that these groups bring to tonight's service. And please, as you feel comfortable with the songs, please join along. You guys will have been given a song sheet as you came in. If you do not have one, they are sitting right outside of the sanctuary. And of course, you're also welcome to share. The words to our prayers this evening can be found both on the song sheet and also in Mishkan Tefillah. So up first, we have our harmonizers with Shabbat is Here.
Beautiful. And a very special Shabbat Shalom to all who are watching us over our live webcast. They are going to be treated to the beauty of the music tonight and the spirit of Shabbat.
Take some wine. The candles glow. It's a joyous time. Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day of peace and rest. Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day of peace and rest. When morning comes, we will go to pray.
We will go to pray.
Hear the Torah's words.
Hear the Torah's words.
It's a special day.
Then Shabbos lunch.
And a little snooze.
With our family.
We have time to schmooze.
We have time to schmooze.
Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day of peace and rest. Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day of peace and rest.
joy we see.
With the joy we see.
Shabbat is here.
Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day for peace and rest. Shabbat is here, a day of holiness, a day for God, a day for peace and rest. Well, we are grateful to our harmonizers for setting the tone of Shabbat arriving. And of course, every Shabbat arrives as we light the candles and bless the wine. And that honor always goes to our B'nai Mitzvah and their families. So it is a pleasure to welcome Max and his parents forward to candle lighting together with Kayla and your parents. Come forward. You each have a set of candles to light. I'd invite everyone to turn to page 120 for the candle lighting, followed immediately on page 123 with the Kiddush. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And now Max and Kayla, if you'd each raise your cups, hold them. Good. Max, who will become a bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, and Kayla, who will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow afternoon, are joining together for the first time as they lead us in Kiddush. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ba. Kivanu v'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim, and to answer the number one question, it's juice. Enjoy it.
You guys can drink.
Have a sip. Mazel tov. As they now make their way back to their seats, I would invite each of you to wish a Shabbat Shalom to those you know around you and those you don't know. Please take a moment. Wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. And we turn now in our prayer books to page 138 for the official welcoming of the Shabbat bride, L'chadodi.
So tonight for L'chadodi, we're going to be reciting verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On the 9th and final verse, we'll ask everyone to rise as a community and turn towards the doors of our sanctuary as we welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst, and then turn back towards us together and remain standing as we continue on in prayer.
Together and face the doors as if the Shabbos queen is entering.
Shalom, God besimcha, u'etzola, toch elulei, am sikulah.
And you may face forward. seated as we turn to page 141 for Psalm 93. Page 146. If we haven't already felt the call to worship, it's the official call. So let's rise, please, for the Baruch Hu, and we'll remain standing through the Shema.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayers? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I alive? Am I alive?
And we remain standing for Shema. Oh, no? Thank you.
No, we're going to continue now with Roll into Dark, which you can find on your song sheet.
Oh, beautiful.
Followed by Open a Horizon, then Shema.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think you can all be seated then, so we can all join together. Into dark, roll into light, light becomes day, day turns to night, roll into dark,
Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Rain of the night. Rain of evening ocean. Rain of evening ocean. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Rain of the light. Rain of evening ocean. Becomes day, day turns to night. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name. We will know that you are one.
we will know that you are one. We rise, please. Israel,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai Echad. Shekevod Mahuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shekevod, Shekevod Mahuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated, and as we prepare to continue with the Hafta, it's a pleasure to welcome forward Max and Kayla. It's right up here and ready for you. Over here. Right over here. Kayla, you come right over here. Max, come on up here. Kayla, right here.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And we continue now with the Micha Mocha and a very special song that will lead us into the wilderness and out from our slavery.
You can find the words to Standing at the Sea on our song sheet. This particular setting of Micha Mocha is by Peter and Ellen Allard and walks us through what the Israelites experienced as they were crossing.
Standing at the sea, being hard
It's a good one to hold on to for our Pesach Seders, as we will soon be singing that song in many different forms. And now we move to another Shabbat favorite, page 162, Vishamru.
Page 162. Page 164, we now rise for tefillah, please.
Adonai, sefatai tivta, ufiagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sodom, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur ve'hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Le'man מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך מליט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, לחיי הכל. אתה קדוש שמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
And you may be seated. We turn to page 173 as we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And our prayer of thanksgiving is found on page 177. Together we read, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. As we prepare to pause for just a few moments of our own silent and private meditation, it's important to realize where we are physically on the calendars right now. Whether we look at the Jewish calendar, which is the start of the month of Nisan, the first month of the year and the beginning of spring, or we look to the calendar of the secular calendar of our United States and most of the world, we note that it is indeed the start of spring and a countdown to the holiday for the Christian world of Easter. And if we are from the Muslim community, we have taken note that the start of Ramadan has begun. And all of this converges in what should be a beautiful, peaceful, glorious time for those of faith communities and our world. But I think we understand better that all too often religion can be used not as a way to unite, but to separate, not as a way to bring about peace, but to bring about harm. So as we pause for a few moments of our silent prayer, let us think this Shabbat of how we can help to make the world a bit more peaceful. We certainly can do it by what we are doing here, celebrating Shabbat with our voices, with our musicality, with the celebration of B'nai Mitzvah, and with all the goodness that we have been granted this past week. And we certainly do it as we recognize the challenges we've endured and give gratitude for how we've overcome. And so wherever we are on this calendar, may all of us know a Shabbat of peace. We pause for a few moments. Always on Shabbat, we think of those who need our extra prayers of healing in body, mind, or spirit. And so if you were thinking of someone now that could use some of our extra healing prayers, our hopes for them, please feel free to share their name out loud or within your heart.
Nathan Stone,
Thank you. Well, for those known to us and unknown to us, we join together in what is known as the Misha Berach, the prayer for healing. It's our hope that healing can be everyone's ultimate gift. But if it cannot, we hope that those who are struggling will find the courage to endure.
Page 371.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Each and every Shabbat comes with a story and a message. Sometimes we look to our modern day, and most usually on Shabbat, we look to our Torah portion. Well, certainly Max, whose tomorrow's portion will begin a brand new book of Torah, and then in the afternoon, Kayla's portion, tells us a great deal about subjects that we rarely take the time to read about. And I just wanted to point out two very important lessons that come from their portions that remind us of how we should enter the Shabbat and truthfully how we should spend each and every day. First of all, we are starting the third book of the Torah, and I promised both Max and Kayla I would not put them on the spot, but I am very fully confident that they know exactly what book we are reading from tomorrow. And that is the third book of Torah, the book of Vayikra, or the book of Leviticus. It's that book that very few people could ever give a summary of unless they had to learn to chant it for their special day on the Bima. And that's because the book of Leviticus, or the book of Vayikra, is a law book. But tradition tells us that in truth, we are to learn the third book of Torah before we ever learn the other four. Now, the other four are storybooks, and I know you're all familiar with them. Give me a story. Any story.
Jonah and the whale.
Thank you very much. Jonah and the whale. Give me another story. Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, we could find him. Good. How about a Torah story? Anything? Noah.
How God built the earth.
Oh my gosh, creation. Thank you, how God built the earth. All these wonderful stories that live with us since the time we're little children. And then we meet our ancestors, Abraham and Isaac and Sarah and Rebecca and Rachel and Leah. And let's not forget good old Moses, who we just met in the second book of Torah, and so many wonderful stories. And then if I asked you to teach me one thing from the book of Leviticus, we'd have a really hard time. So what is the main focus, and why do we want our children to actually learn that book first? Because it's a book of morals and ethics. It's a book of behaviors. It's a book that helps not only our children, but we as adults to remember what is important in this world. It is not the stories we tell, but more the example that we set. And what is the story and example that is set in the book of Leviticus? Well, we find it in the very first word of the Torah portion. The very first word, the name of Vayikra. And when anybody looks at that first word, every letter is exactly the same size, except for the very last letter of the word. Even in the Torah, it's a miniature aleph, a miniature. And you should be asking, is that a mistake? What's that doing there? And the reason being that it's supposed to remind each and every human being that that's how small we are in the sight of all of God's miracles. Or in another way, it's meant to keep us humble. For many of you, you walked in here this evening, or anytime you walk into a Jewish religious institution, and what's the first thing you put on your head? A kippah, a yarmulke. Well, it comes from that little aleph, in case you didn't know. It comes from the idea that to always remind us to be humble and to realize that we're smaller than everything else in this world. We cover our heads to show that there's always something above us. That's where the tradition comes from the very first teachings. And the last thing that's supposed to happen when we open up that very first word of the third book of the Torah, you're supposed to put some honey on your finger. And that's because whenever you touch a word of Torah, the learning should always be sweet. We here give out chocolate kisses, so stop by. We may even have just a few sweets tomorrow to share in the excitement of reading from the book of Vayikra. And so just a wonderful reminder this Shabbat, as we open the new book, we may do wonderful and great things in this world, but that's because we have so many people and something much greater than ourselves supporting us and bringing us to this moment and reminding us that in our humility, we can achieve great things. Amen. And it is time for us now to return to our prayer book, page 586. Kayla, Max, would you please come up, leave your prayer books in your seats, and just open the ark doors for us? And I'm going to ask everyone to rise, please. I would ask that we please remain standing as we make our way to page 598 for the Kaddish prayer. For each and every time we come together as a community, we remember those who are no longer physically present with us, but who are very much alive within our hearts and within our memories. On this Shabbat, we commemorate the yortzites, the anniversaries of those who died in this season and years past, as we remember Phyllis Brosiner, Sidney Klein, Harold Musnitsky, Sally Needwich, Lillian Scheffel, and Fanny Snowman. And we remember two who have been taken from our midst in most recent days, Richard David Brotspees and Gail Ellen Feingold. If there is anyone here who is remembering a yortzeit or a recent death and would like to share their name, please feel free as we remember Lily Baskin. For those known to us and unknown to us, for those of the American Armed Forces and the Israel Defense Forces who have given their lives in defense of our nation and the land of Israel, and for all of those who have no one left, we recite together the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam amei amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'olam im kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen. And we pray that the source of peace will send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us, as we all say.
Amen.
And you may all be seated. It's always such a treat when we can welcome forward the president of our congregation, Greg Paradise, to just welcome you and share a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm so glad everyone has joined us for our service, either in person or virtually. Mazel Tov to the Levinson family, whose son Max will become a bar mitzvah tomorrow morning Shabbat service. And Mazel Tov to the Sepoff family, whose daughter Kayla will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow afternoon's Mincha service. And thank you to the harmonizers and the Shul of Rock for delighting us with your music today. Thanks for everyone who came out for that. We have a few events coming up. First, we have a special pre-Passover movie showing of The Prince of Egypt at the Bernardsville Cinema at 1:30 p.m. this Sunday. There's still time to register. Look for details in your emails. Second, we'll be having a Shabbat pizza dinner, 6:15 p.m. next Friday, March 31st, prior to our family Shabbat service. That's at 7 o'clock. Our third grade students will be participating in this service. Please try to register in advance so we can properly plan. You can find details about all these programs, how to register for them, and more in our weekly e-blast, our Shabbat message, and on the temple website. We look forward to seeing you next Friday night, March 31st, for our Shabbat service at 7 p.m. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And of course, immediately following our service, we invite you all to join us in our atrium for some sweets and goodies and to greet each other and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Well, Cantor Benray has brought us a new tradition that she had always in her family, and we have now in ours, that between the holidays of Purim and Pesach, one gets ready and prepares by transporting oneself from the holiday of Purim to the cleaning and preparation of Pesach. And we do that in the language of Ladino. And so the very last song on your song sheets is Pesach ala Mano.